Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, black, white, Mexican, Middle Eastern, Christian, Muslim, Wiccan, Islam, gay, straight, bi, female, male. By no surprise, at least one of these words has triggered a negative reaction in someone in the audience. When I look at our society today, I feel that it is extremely important to address this topic of hate, because I see hate everywhere. Hate on Trump, hate on Hillary, hate on the blacks, hate on the whites, hate on the Mexicans, gays, children. I was fortunate enough to be raised in a household in which hate and judgment were not acceptable. However, that does not mean that I was immune to the attacks of society in which I was taught not to retaliate. My entire life, I've been hated on, as I'm sure many others have, for being female, blonde, Wiccan, intelligent, antisocial. Almost everything and anything about me has been warped into a weapon used against me. I'm reminded of a time in middle school where my best friend was in 8th grade while I was in 7th. She was Christian, extremely faithful. It was actually something I really admired about her. We were always able to have respectful conversations, which is why it shocked me so much when this happened. I remember it was school hours, and we're sitting in the back of the classroom in one of those big round tables, and it was her and I and a few of our close friends. And I don't remember what we were talking about, but I remember she looked at me and she said, "Ashley, I love you, but you're going to hell." Now, two things shocked me in this situation. First of them being that I wasn't shocked. I wasn't surprised or hurt by the words being said to me, because at that point in my life, I had heard those words over and over and over again, where I just let them hit me, roll off my back like nothing. And I realized in that moment that this is exactly what everyone who gets hated on does. They stop standing up for themselves and they stop standing up for others. And this is why the cycle of hate continues. The second thing that shocked me in this situation was when I looked across the table from me at my close friend, tears started to swell up in her eyes. She burst out screaming, crying, ran under the table, "I don't want Ashley to go to hell, I don't want her to go to hell." Frozen. I didn't know what to do in this situation. I had never been in one like this before. My friend crying underneath the table, she looked nothing like me. She wasn't the same faith as me, and yet she was hurt by the words that were meant to hurt me. And in that moment, I realized that hate not only affects the person being hated on, but it affects everyone around them too. Hate is the most useless emotion a human being can feel. Hate accomplishes nothing. The person being hateful, they have to take time and energy to continually feel that hate for someone, take time out of their life to express that hate to someone else. And the person they're hating on, they're not going to change who they are. They're not going to change their beliefs, and they're not, God knows, they're not able to change the color of their skin. So why do we do it? Hate is not innate. Hate is a choice, and hate is taught. In the example of two babies lying in a crib next to one another, and one of the babies starts to cry, no matter the race, religion, sex, sexual orientation of the baby crying, the one lying next to it cries too, because as human beings, as the human race, we are meant to feel for one another. We are meant to empathize with each other, and we are meant to build each other up, not tear each other down. Cry for your brothers, cry for your sisters. Love for one another and let the hate be dispelled. As I look into the black reflection in the mirror we call society, I want to sit aside and scream. The hatred we feel for one another is so deep and so painful, it makes me weep. I want to leave behind a legacy in which society is no longer hateful, but joyful and fill with glee. I am bubbling up with despair as I cast this enchantment to bear the burden of hate, because I would rather carry the weight than let the world be destroyed by its fickle fate. As I cry for my brother and sister tonight, I pray that they continue to love against this hateful fight. Thank you.